Hello everybody, this is Damien Reviews Quake. Quake was a game that was made in 1996 by its software, the same people who made Doom, Wolfenstein 3D and Commander Keen and the likes of that. Quake is a first-person shooter, and in brief the story is you're playing a character called Ranger who is meant to stop an extra-dimensional force from destroying Earth and, taking over and killing everyone. And it's under the leadership of an entity called Codename Quake, or Shub Niggurath, if anyone kind of knows their Lovecraftian lore. What can I say about Quake? It's one of the granddaddies of the first-person shooter genre, along with, as I was saying earlier, the likes of Doom and the likes of Wolfenstein. The gameplay is absolutely phenomenal. It is fast-paced, never-ending action, but in a good way. Not that it's just, kind of. There's always something going on, which is there's no kind of 10 minutes of just walking around or any of this. There's always something going on, which is enjoyable. The gunplay is incredible. Personally, my favorite weapon in the game is the super nail gun. It does tears things to shreds, but the only problem with it runs out of ammo a little bit too quickly. But the double barrel shotgun, the thunderbolt weapon, even the rocket launcher, everything is very powerful. It will destroy enemies quite quickly, and the game has this term gibbing in it, which literally is blowing enemies to pieces. I repeat, literally blowing enemies to pieces. That is very enjoyable. There's a bit of satisfaction when you see an enemy getting hit by a rocket and exploding into millions of little pieces. So it's enjoyable on that level. The only thing I didn't enjoy about playing it, there's a couple of little things that kind of got me, but a thing that I didn't enjoy about playing it, there's a few parts in it that are platforming parts. Now, this is a personal issue myself. I don't enjoy platforming in first-person shooters. I don't think it works in first-person shooters. It's fine if it's a game that's built on that kind of premise, a puzzle type game, or something like Portal or something like that. That's fine. That works in that scenario. Personally, I feel it slows down the game, and just there's too much kind of little, if you fall off this bit, you're gonna fall into lava and stuff like that. Which I know that's kind of the essence of platforming. When you fall off, you die. But I just don't feel it works in first-person shooter games. That's, again, you might disagree with me, but that's just my kind of that's my feeling towards platforming and first-person shooters. The challenges in the game. Some parts are really tough, don't get me wrong. Some parts, I was stuck for a good while. The abundance of enemies, or again, going back to the platforming parts. But I never felt it was unfair. There was a few parts where I might have said in my videos, this is unfair, or there was a few parts where something teleported in on me, and I had no ammo, and it was one of their harder enemies, and I was like, that was just me giving out though. But I feel like it provides a fair and fun enough challenge that you won't kind of, throw your computer out the window and go, forget about this game. The only thing is the traps could catch you out at the worst of times. There's these, Doom has its own traps, Wolfenstein doesn't really are not into traps that much. But I know Doom has its own traps, but the traps in this, they have like dart weapons shooting at walls, or they have spikes, or just things that will catch you out. And don't get me wrong, they will catch you out. The graphics in the game, it's early 3D graphics, so you have to give it that. You have to say, okay, listen, it's only coming into the market now, this kind of early 3D stuff. But all the same, it's quite nice. There's some textures that I really, really enjoyed, and I was like, wow, that's beautiful texture and stuff like that, and it was lovely. The only thing I didn't like about it was there's a little bit too much brown and grey in the game. I get it, you're kind of meant to be fighting in a medieval kind of, you see, the scenario changes per episode, but some areas are meant to be fighting in a castle type area and stuff like that. Okay, I kind of get that. That's meant to be kind of grey walls and everything like that. But it felt like it was overused, the grey and the brown. It was just kind of like, okay, is there any other colours on that palette at all? Like I said, don't get me wrong, some of the textures looked amazing, and Like the lava and some of the gateways and stuff, they looked really really nice. But just I don't know, I just felt like there wasn't enough of variety on textures. Enemies, some are fine, but when I mentioned earlier that the game is not unfair, some of the enemies I find were a little bit unfair. There's two enemies in particular that really kind of annoyed me. One of them was the Shamblers, and the other one was the Vors. The Shamblers, I'll start off. They're big, they're tough, and they have this kind of lightning weapon that's really, really hard to dodge. But if it hits you, it does a monumental amount of damage. Now, I kind of get that these guys are meant to be kind of the lieutenants of the army of Quake's army, but they're just like when they come in and when they get a shot at you, you'll feel it. You'll definitely feel it. I was playing this on hard, so I kind of get, okay, listen, you're playing on hard, what do you expect? I get that, but I just found them a bit too like, okay, give us a second here, because like I said, the lightning weapon, once it starts, it's it's very very hard to dodge it. Same with the Vors. Now this is another thing altogether. The Vors are a spider-like enemy, but they shoot out these kind of purple, what would I say, mines or bombs, but they follow you, and not only do they follow you at extreme accuracy. You can run around corners, they're still after you. You can run around pillars, they're still after you. It's extreme accuracy. You really have to kind of, you have to kind of outthink it's a homing kind of it's a homing weapon. You really have to outthink it. And that's another thing about the same with the Shamblers. They do a lot of damage. So I mean a monumental amount of damage. So you really have to watch, and some areas are fighting 2 or 3 of these guys, and 3 of them are shooting homing kind of mines or bombs at you. So you really have to watch out for that. But the other enemies are fine, just as long as you kind of know how to fight them, stay away or get up close or whatever, as long as you know how to fight them. Same with the Shamblers and the Vors. When you know how to fight them, they're okay. Like with the Shamblers, just try and stay behind things as much as you can so the lightning can't hit you. With the Vors, when they shoot, kind of try and stay close to walls, so being able to bounce in and around corners, so the rockets or whatever they shoot hits off the walls. But so yeah, we're gonna go the overall feeling of the game. It is a great game, don't get me wrong. Quake, fantastic game. As I said, one of the granddaddies of first person shooters. Fun action through. As I said, never stopped being fun. Really enjoyed it. Very good challenge. Like I said, I was playing hard, so it provided a challenge on hard. It was very good, but like I said, never felt unfair. As I said, some of the enemies might have felt a little bit unfair, but the game never felt unfair. 9 Inch Nails done the music for Quake, so there's a plus. Trent Reznor, if you're into 9 Inch Nails, it's very industrial kind of soundtrack. Even the theme song I use for my videos, that is 9 Inch Nails. That's the Quake theme song, and it's an overall very well made FPS, and definitely up there one of my favorite first person shooters of all time. So that is why I'm going to give Quake a 9.5 out of 10. That's my review of Quake. As always, thanks for watching.